Hi, my name is Kevin Moore. I'm the head coach here in K-Fit Fitness Dojo in Athenry. We specialise in mixed martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and submission wrestling. Today we're going to go over a little technique from the bottom position, from a position specifically called butterfly guard, and we're going to demonstrate a technique that can be used for all three disciplines: mixed martial arts, submission wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Little flavours for each sport. Today I have with me Owen Higgins and Paul Stewart. They're from Strange Wolves in Galway, and these gentlemen are going to help me demonstrate the technique today. Okay, so into the butterfly guard, these gentlemen. So, what is the butterfly guard? The butterfly guard, Owen has a butterfly guard on Paul. The butterfly guard is when Owen has his insteps inside Paul's legs. Not only does he have his insteps, that's the basic, most important aspect of the butterfly guard, but also you can see his posture is slanted forward. Not very good for everyday posture, but very good for the butterfly guard. You'll notice that Owen's head is up, his face is facing in towards Paul, and his hips are behind his head. So he's created a kind of a frame against the floor, with the top of the frame being his forehead and the base of the frame being his tailbone on the floor. As Paul engages and looks to move in and to wrestle Owen's going to assume what we refer to as inside control. So optimally, Owen is going to have both arms and hands inside Paul's arms and hands. Okay, so we'll go over the positions. This is referred to as a collar tie. It goes around where your tie would be on your collar. And Owen also has a block on the bicep. But don't worry, we'll go to a different angle so you can see that again. So we're going to look at a kind of a combination again. There's no point kind of using techniques or hoping techniques work in isolation. They have to be strung together in a chain of sorts, so that creates a more serious problem. Each link in the chain gets deeper and deeper for the opponent, in this case Paul. Okay, so let's go through. So Paul, his head is being controlled at the moment by Owen. He doesn't want this. So Paul is going to desperately try and regain his posture, an upright posture where he can either stand up or start striking. Exactly. However, Owen's not going to let him do that, not without a few little tricks. As Paul postures, Owen keeps a hold of him and uses that backward momentum to pull himself forward. Okay, Owen is now in a position, briefly, what we refer to as combat base. His knee and shin, grounded with his foot, become a massive obstacle for Paul driving forward to capture his hips, not to mention he's based out on his standing leg. From here, from a mixed martial arts point of view, I would strongly advise Owen to stand up. Paul is now in a kneeling position in front of a standing opponent, and Owen is free to strike with his hands only. Quite effective. Go back into combat base, please, Owen. If it was submission wrestling or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I would still advise Owen to stand, but also quickly to change direction and have an entry to back control, as Owen will demonstrate here now. Owen gets a very, very good back control, also, if you noticed, with an arm trapped, an added bonus. Okay, return please, guys. However, what if Paul doesn't pull back, or what if Owen's collar tie is so strong that Paul's head drops down? Well, then we're going to start to execute a choke, a guillotine choke. So again, Owen is pulling Paul's head down, and Paul goes down. You've noticed, go back a step, guys. You'll notice as Owen is pulling Paul's head down, he knows it's coming down, he moves off what's referred to as the center line of Paul. Think of it as Paul's spine. It's running down the center. Go back Owen once more. My arm will represent the center line. It's now pointing directly at Owen's head. As Paul's head descends, Owen moves off the side, he moves off the center line. Now Owen's right arm is in a great position to execute what we refer to as guillotine chokes. There are numerous types of guillotine chokes. The one Owen is going to demonstrate today is referred to as a high elbow guillotine, or sometimes a Marcelotine after Marcelo Garcia. So Owen wraps his arm around, like so, and his free arm comes in front of Paul's collarbone, okay, and his elbow raises, okay. There is no choke on yet. What needed to complete the choke are three facets. One, Owen's head is down to stop Paul pulling his head out easily. The second is Owen's outside elbow starts to raise towards the ceiling and come theoretically towards his other elbow. And the last one is Owen's right wrist, where is underneath Paul's throat, is going to rotate. Imagine that Owen has a wristwatch on his right wrist and he wants to look at the time. He's going to rotate like this. Like that. So Owen, please. And Paul taps out quite quickly. It's a very, very tight choke. So again from the start, guys, all the way from the start. So there's a collar tie, inside control. We mentioned this earlier, the biceps. Owen's hand is inside both arm and hand of Paul. Continue. He comes off the side, wraps up, assumes the second hand position, raises the elbow, head down, and then looks at his watch. And that's considered a high elbow guillotine or a Marcelo thing. Okay, thanks very much, guys. If you liked that and you wanted to have a go at it, we're here in K-Fit Fitness Dojo in Athenry. Please come down and start your journey with us. Thank you.